How we doing, guys? It's your boys DND Podcast,
Yo.
and we're gonna talk tonight about ego, how to manage it, and how everybody should take advice how to live with it.
Mm. Man, we had a lot of demonstration about ego over the past week. I would say over the past day in particular.
Correct.
Just kind of a perfect example of how people lose track of their ego and let it get the best of them.
Yeah.
And we just want to talk today about how to keep that in check.
Correct.
And don't define the character of yourself by your ego. You know what I mean? You want to tell them a little story about maybe what went down in a certain establishment that we're not going to name.
Yes, yes, and it's true, especially when you're doing like any certain kind of position in the future, and you're the manager or the boss of your own business. You have to come to realize like people don't follow dictators. They follow real leaders that can show them the path and know how to communicate to them. So a great quality that any leader should has is communication. You know how to say the right things so people can understand your idea better. And when you have a big ego, your communication start becoming lower because your communication start becoming all about me, about yourself. So even if you believe it or no, too much ego will cause make you, express yourself wrong.
It'll be your biggest downfall.
Correct.
And it makes people see you as the opposite of a leader. I mean, if you come on, if I walk into a group of, let's say, all women, for example,
Yeah.
uh, I'm going to change my tone a little bit
Correct.
than if I walk into a room full of particularly all men.
Correct.
Although I want to get the same point across, I know that there could be extremely different personality types between a group full of women and a group full of men.
Definitely.
So I just want to speak to them in a way where they see me as maybe kind and gentle.
Correct.
There's no need for me to force this testosterone filled boss
Yes.
on a room full, especially younger women. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I want to talk to them with kindness, respect, just like I would talk to my own mother, my own sister, and get them to do the best job they can do for me,
Yes.
but in a respectful manner.
Correct.
To me, that's keeping my ego in check rather than chest out, you do this, you do that,
And there's a beautiful say that says, great leaders are hard with themselves, and poor leaders are hard with everybody else. And it's a great quote because every time that a true leader see that something went wrong, the leader try to find the solution, find what I did wrong, so I can like lead my team in a certain kind of way that will not happen again.
Yes.
And in the opposite, a bad leader that is just hard with everybody else is a person that will not see her or his own mistakes and will just point out everybody else's mistake, creating a kind of situation that nobody else want to work with you.
Yeah.
It makes it like a bad time working with you every day.
Accepting responsibility for things that you're doing wrong is the best way to learn and become better at what you're doing, especially in a leadership position.
Yeah, yeah. And we're not trying to say out there like you have a low self-esteem. Always keep a high self-esteem about yourself. Uh, it doesn't matter how we say before. All the biggest your biggest fan is gotta be your own self. So you gotta be your own self, your biggest fan. You understand what
you got to
I'm
love
saying?
yourself.
You gotta love yourself. So always keep a high self-esteem, but be nice about people around yourself because you never know what you can learn from somebody else.
Right.
If you have an open mind and like I'm a human being, I make mistakes and I can learn new things in life, man, it just gives you so much elegancy as a person, so much class.
Oh yeah.
And it shows you that you're enough smart to understand that concept about you.
Right.
That you are a human being and you always can keep learning.
But by no means do we want to come off wrong. I mean, don't let people walk all over you. Don't be taken advantage of. But also pick your battles wisely. You know what I mean? If you're out in public, someone comes at you the wrong way, especially man to man.
Correct.
don't let them walk all over you, because then you're
Okay.
going to feel something about that. But also don't, I'm not going to go punch somebody in the face because they look at me funny.
Correct.
But I might give them a little bit of a look back, like, you know, don't look, I don't know who you think you're looking at, but
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Literally.
But I'll keep it pushing. I'm not going to go pick a fight in TJ Maxx because some guy looked at me funny.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And I don't know. What do you think about those situations where there is a couple, a relationship, and one of the person have like a low self-esteem, low ego, and push constantly her other person, like wife or husband, to behave in a certain kind of way, so they can feel good about their own self. Is
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're in a relationship like that, well, when you're let's say you're the one with the low ego and you're being bossed around,
yeah,
you chose that partner. You
yeah,
choose to be in that situation. And something that I've had to learn the hard way in life is you can't change anybody. The
anybody.
only person you can change is yourself. So if you're in a bad situation, you need to get out, take a good look in the mirror, ask yourself, do you want out? And if so, you need to get yourself out of that situation.
Correct.
That person's not going to change.
And you will lead that in other situation, the ego of a person believing that always is right in the relationship can destroy a relationship.
Yeah, man. You cannot. Nobody's always right. First of all,
Nobody's always
and
right.
the definition of communication is
Again,
having a discussion.
You see how bad ego affect your communication?
Yeah.
When like it doesn't even allow you to admit that you're right.
Right. Right.
Please.
You want to get from point A to point B in a conversation. If you came to me today and said, Dave, guess what, man? I got a problem with you and with this. My goal instantly in that conversation will be to go from point A. You're
Correct.
pissed off at me about something.
Yeah.
I want to get to point B, which means I told you my side of the story. You see it clearly, and we can move on with our friendship. And in order to do that, if I'm wrong about something that pissed you off, and you point it out to me, I need to say, Derek, I accept that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You've made a point. I didn't realize what I'm doing, but clearly that's wrong. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Or I can be a dick and say, you know what? Nah, man. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No, I didn't do that, and you shouldn't even be mad.
Yeah.
Where does that leave us? Nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere. And as a person, it's gonna only lead you to a path of desolation.
Yeah.
Because
no one wants to be.
But nobody wanna be around a person like that. Nobody like wanna be around a person that believes that he's perfect or her is perfect. So always keep in mind, that how great your wins that you have every day, because we have every time people don't realize it, like you as a human beings, we have little wins during our days, like for example, you have meeting early 7 a.m. and you went to your meeting at 7 a.m. That's a win there.
Yeah.
As a human being, you were responsible with your meetings,
proud of yourself for going.
Proud, just like that. So you went to the gym the same day, boom, that's another win in your day. You already did something positive for your body.
Yeah.
So every day is about not just one big win, it's about little wins that you keep building every day, and that you recognize that to yourself to keep your ego healthy as well.
Yeah. Because you don't want to fall on the other side of it where you're just this kind of weak, depressed person who's kind of going through life with no ego at all.
Correct.
It's almost like the pH balance in your body.
Yes.
You want to be right in between acidic and alkaline. Because if you're too much of one or the other, that's when cancer starts forming, and diseases in the body. Find that perfect balance right in between, all is well. You'll be successful in life.
Yes. And the beauty about finding that balance that you're saying is that when you find that balance, and the only way, by the way, to find that balance in my perspective is by knowing who you really are as a person. You got to know who you are as a person, so you don't need to demonstrate nothing to nobody. You don't need to be hard to nobody else, so you can feel important.
Yeah.
Because that is the only reason when a leader is hard to their employees, so he can feel or she can feel important to their employees. But if the way that you work is the proper way to see, and all your employees see it, you don't gotta be hard with them. They're just gonna follow you by just your way and your ethic of work.
Yeah.
So
And all you have to do is be honest at that point with yourself.
correct.
You're not acting at that
Correct.
point.
For example, like Messi's. Everybody knows Messi's. One of the biggest.
Lionel Messi.
Leonardo Messi. Yeah. Soccer player.
Yeah.
Everybody knows him. And man, I have seen this guy. He has a penalty and he gives it to other, even though that the coach tell him go ahead and like get that penalty, he gets all somebody else and give it a shot to go and do it, because he's not seeking more fame. He already knows.
He's got it all.
He knows who he is.
Yeah.
So he's trying to even help other people to succeed in the same league.
Right.
Right. And that's exactly the balance that we're talking about. Like when you recognize, like, I'm good, you don't need to be oppressing other people.
No.
You're happy with yourself, and for the same reason, you don't need to like being hard with nobody else. You only hard to yourself to improve as a person, and humble with the rest of the people. And in a humble kind of way, like how I can help you,
Right.
Because I know that I'm in a better situation.
Yeah.
But in a humble way.
Oh, couldn't agree more with that, man. As always, great talking to you. Great conversation. Hope you all enjoying this.
Yes.
Um,
Leave a comment, press subscribe, ring that bell, and we're gonna be replying soon. Have a great night.
Thanks for watching.